What's up everyone, Arctic here, bringing you guys some Battlefield 4 gameplay on Domination. This is the map Paracell Storm, which I kind of have mixed feelings on. I've had some really good games, I've had some mediocre games, and I've had some that generally aren't very pleasant. But for the most part, I'd say that the majority of games are okay to good. There's only a couple that I really didn't like, and there were some specific reasons for that, but I am using the Assault class. I have the Scar H. You guys have probably seen quite a bit of Scar H gameplay. And, I just want to talk a little bit about Domination itself in this game. I kind of talked about it earlier on of why I play specific modes. I think you guys got that down of why I'm focusing on Dom and a couple other game types and specifically right now. But talking about Domination and kind of how to play it from a map-to-map standpoint. Now, I'm still obviously learning Paracell Storm, so I'm going to talk about Domination in a very general sense. I think the game mode has been around long enough that people get the general consensus of how to play it, but some important things to kind of take away from Battlefield specifically is things like spawn locations. That's very important, particularly because you won't get always a lot of squad spawning in Domination, although it is very critical to playing Battlefield specifically. A smart player won't always spawn on their squad mates, so based on the map control, you want to get a general sense of where people are going to spawn, and the best way to do that is through repetition and kind of playing, and then you'll get kind of a vibe. Okay, my guys are over here, there's a little bit of fire over here, the odds are they're going to spawn in this location and try to capture this point. And that kind of type of mental preparation as you start playing, knowing beforehand how the map flows, really goes a long way, and that all starts from knowing the spawn locations. Another thing I think is really important is simply spotting players. One of the things that I picked up on really well is, once one player is spotted, generally speaking, you're going to find multiple players there for Battlefield, and it's just the nature of squad spawning, right? I just mentioned how important it was, or it is in Domination, but it also helps identify those spawn locations. So if you see one guy, odds are he might have either a couple guys with him or they're all spawning in that location or at that capture point. So it's really important to spot frequently, as often as possible, and in situations where you probably wouldn't think to, you probably want to. So like you're fighting multiple people, spam that Q button as you're firing and spraying. It's really important to really help out your teammates get those spotting mechanics down, that muscle memory. And the other thing I think is really important is knowing hotspots, pathways that either people will take, like, what is the best route to get from on this map A to B, or from C to A, or from C to B, things like that. I think it's important to know where the hotspots are so you can get a beat on where players are going to be located, where you can anticipate kills or throw grenades or do whatever to try to enhance your performance. On Paracell Storm, initially I played a couple games where people like to sit in the building, so as I've played more often, these buildings are getting destroyed much faster depending on the level of players that you are playing against. So that's been a rapid change that I've seen so far in the last couple days, is these buildings are getting leveled quickly, and I don't think this gameplay is. I think we take down 2, which is pretty fast for this ticket count, but generally speaking, you get a lot of people that camp those buildings, for whatever reason. They're sniping, or they're trying to do X or Y or Z. They're trying to look at B, all the different reasons that people aren't really mobile. They feel like they're covering a point or doing whatever, trying to protect their KD. Multiple reasons that people play specific spots. But Paracell Storm, I've seen that a lot of players playing those buildings early on, and not so much now. You kind of see people roaming on the outskirts of the map as of right now, which I think is probably indicative to the pathways that you kind of have in and out the trenches, so to speak, on the sides of the maps, located near that back bunker at B. Is where you typically see some people kind of on the outskirts, and then it starts on each of the outer rings of C and A. But that's also, again, something very important, those hot spots and pathways. And then the other thing I think is important is knowing when to challenge. You know, you run into a lot of situations where you have multiple opponents and you have to quickly think about how you're going to attack them. We're going to run into a situation here where Ken Masters and I think someone on our team is spotting all these guys. This is a spawn location, and he's going to push up, and I think he calls out, he kills multiple players, so they know where he is. So I make the decision to push up and try to get some assistance for him, and getting a nice squad wipe there to help him out. So again, you know, knowing how you need to react with multiple players, and, you know, being that Ken 93 Masters was in my squad and was communicating with me helped that a lot. But, you know, trying to either communicate with your squad mates or just get a sense of, okay, my teammate is positioned here, he got a kill there, or there's 7 guys in this location. What's the best approach that I have for that specific situation? I think that's really important for domination, because that can determine whether or not you're going to hold a point, capture a point, or just kind of hold off until you get some backup long enough to help you out. So those are all very critical things to think about as well. Now, the last thing I think is really important, and I kind of mentioned this with the pathways, is how to get to certain locations, but basically capturing points, right? The objective of this game mode is to capture points. Now, we're pretty much dominating these guys from the beginning of the match to the end of the match, so it's not as crucial for us. I think at some points we had all 3 positions, and we controlled 2 out of the 3 for the majority of the match. So my thing has always been trying to figure out those routes or those pathways that I talked about, because those ultimately lead to hot spots. And sometimes you end up running routes or just learning different areas of the map that you wouldn't have learned otherwise if you weren't trying to find the best pathway to get to a certain point. So really trying to extend your knowledge of a map is really important for domination if you plan on winning. Now, if you're just going for KD, you're not too focused on trying to necessarily win the match, then you know, you're probably not going to learn as much about the game mode specifically as you would otherwise. So I think really digging deep and trying to learn the ins and outs of the maps is very important for domination, more so than, you know, like a map like Team Deathmatch where, or a game mode, I should say, like Team Deathmatch, where it's just, you know, fragging other opponents. There's no objective really other than protecting your life. This is very important to helping you sustain that dominance, I guess, on the battlefield, you know, knowing where you need to go. So hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. It's pretty much a done deal. These guys have 29 tickets left. I've just been ripping people apart here as I'm running over to C, and I think there's a guy kind of camping here. I'd squad give a squad command for everyone to run over there. So yeah, kind of playing C, I want to talk really quickly about this. There was a map I played where the other team had a bunch of snipers, and which is so bad. I always feel really bad for the enemy team when they have snipers on their team that are just bringing down everyone else. But they were sitting in the back of C behind me, and to the right side there's like some crates over there in the corner, and it was just like, man, why are you even right there? You have no line of sight on anything. What are you doing? And those are the types of irritating players I hate seeing in objective game modes, when it's just like, go play TDM, dude. Or go play Conquest so you can snipe up and just sit in the spot instead of playing like this. So yeah, that's just a little bit of rage that I have about some stuff I saw on Paracell the other day. And, you know, we played those guys, and we beat them like 230 something to 0 because they had a bunch of snipers sitting around in corners and stuff. So if you had plan on playing sniper, just take it to another game mode, please, unless you're actually playing the objective. All right. But I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay, and till the next time, I'll catch you later. Peace.